The following workshops are held on a regular basis at the DLA Training Center.
As I continue on with this 10-week series on why the average customer only sells 10 to 12 cars per month, I want to focus today on our phone-up skills. Other than previous customers, phone-ups represent the most reliable source for a sale. This has been proven over and over again, and it is very important to learn how to handle them in a way that encourages the customer to come to the dealership for the appointment. Knowing how to separate yourself from the competition is not that difficult when you realize the proper steps to taking a phone-up. Some salespeople feel that a good phone-up is simply getting the customer's name and giving them their name so they know who to ask for when they come to the dealership. If they don't come in, they're soon forgotten and considered not a serious buyer. And this can be a big mistake. But you know what? It happens all the time. Unless a salesperson fully understands the value of a phone-up, they may ignore incoming calls for someone who had just driven up to the dealership instead. Yet, it is a well-known fact that tire kickers have no problem visiting a car lot when they have nothing better to do. It may be they just dropped their spouse off at the mall. Instead of waiting or going back home, they decided to stop to see the latest models at the dealership across from the mall. However, when someone calls your dealership, they probably already know what brand you carry, and they are not likely just calling because they have nothing better to do. By calling your dealership, they've already somewhat qualified themselves. Who calls a car dealership just looking because they're bored or looking for a way to spend time? The fact of the matter is, people who just come to a dealership to look may not be serious buyers at all. But those who call to speak with a salesperson typically are. But there's another reason why people call a dealership, and it may be their most important reason. Some call hoping to find a salesperson who they feel comfortable with, who can reassure them that they will not be taken advantage of if they come in for an appointment. Whether they do this consciously or not, this may be the deciding factor for whether they choose to come to see you or someone else at another dealership. With this in mind, taking a phone-up is serious, and you should be well prepared for the opportunity when it comes, especially since most of the people who call your dealership have already called or will call other dealerships in their search for a new car. Your ability to be unique, professional, and better prepared than the competition is of critical importance. Customers who are calling dealerships are usually looking for specific information, availability, and pricing on what you have to offer. Turning that opportunity into a solid appointment is your goal, and you must be well prepared in order to make that happen. Every process in selling cars is made up of several specific steps. Taking a phone-up is no different, and there are proper procedures that can make the difference for success or failure in getting an appointment. The first step of a successful phone-up is the same as in a normal meet and greet. Your goal is to give them your name, get their name, and then use it with Mr., Mrs., or Miss. By doing so, you establish yourself as someone who is professional, enthusiastic, and unique. By using their name as you speak to them, you're acknowledging them as a person and not just a voice on the other end of the line. The next step is the reply. This is where you answer the customer's question, but only the question they have asked and nothing more. In this way, you will not create other questions by the answers you give. Step 3 is the appointment. If you've answered the customer's initial questions and have been enthusiastic and inspiring, there should be no problem making a solid appointment for them to come in for a face-to-face presentation. In this step, you need to give them a reason to visit your dealership. You need to show them how you're different and unique. I like to tell people that I view all initial visits as informational gathering events, that they're welcome to visit the dealership, look at our cars, drive one if they would like, and then I'd be happy to provide them with literature and pricing to take home and consider during their shopping process. And ironically, most rate of appointments and rate of appointments that show is extremely high. And then finally in step 4, I ask for their contact information. I do so by asking them if they're going to be at all early or late for the appointment, would they be kind enough to call me? Once they say yes, I tell them that I would return the courtesy if anything happens on my end, and then most will gladly give me their contact information. Do not misunderstand the importance of handling a phone-up properly, as a mishandled phone-up is clearly a lost sale. Our final session in this 10-part series will be on poor sold customer follow-up, and I look forward to being with you again next week.